Happy holidays. This is your weekend market recap for Friday, 12/24/21. Let's go. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the trading agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the trading agent, and this is the holiday version of the market recaps for stocks, gold, Bitcoin, and silver on December 24th, 21. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully everybody's having a safe and enjoyable weekend and holidays. Let's get into this. I'm going to start off by saying I'm going to be talking a little slower and going through things a little more in depth. This is going to be a long video because I'm going to really dig deep into some of the topics that we talk about in maybe the back to the basics and how-to videos. But just a solid review of things and where we're at in the state of the markets so that people can feel confident going into next week. So I hope this helps. Again, I apologize this is longer, but it's probably going to be worth it. And if you're ever interested, please stop by the Discord room, join. There's all sorts of people here always chatting and bullshitting, hanging out. And subscribe, like, and I guarantee you're going to learn some things from these videos. There's a lot to learn. I mean, 20 years of experience. You don't just pick up on trading and what's going on that quickly. So on that note, happy holidays and let's do this. Bitcoin. We have been talking about this one. Big cup and handle. Here's the handle. We talked about if you could get in around the 46,000 range. You can see it better on the hourly. Oh, crap. I think I changed this. Yep, on the hourly you can see it a lot better. I apologize. We talked about these areas. You could start buying here. This is the first dip. Obviously, the first dip is always the hardest to identify the best entry. Got a retest here. Had a bunch of retests here. I mean, I like it. I mean, we've talked about Bitcoin being one of these things where, it was going to probably get some action after it dropped. Like, it wasn't just going to rally right back. It was going to take its time. And now, again, what do we say? Probably back up, get over this 50,000, and look, we're right back up at the highs. And so here you go, support equals resistance. It looks like now this is your next resistance zone. Oh, that is not the line I wanted to draw. That's going to be your next resistance zone, and just be aware. That's going to probably take who knows how long it'll take to get over this. I mean, it could happen overnight, over the holidays. I'd be watching that. Let me clean up some of my intraday charts for you guys. But that's how I look at it. I mean, I wouldn't be overthinking it. We talk about if you got in here, you set your stops, are now at your entry. You can't lose in this trade if you trade it well. And if it goes higher, great, because then you can go back to the daily and the next resistance should be like 53.6, and then this area around 57.5, and then obviously back up at the old highs. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go. It's really that simple. I would not overthink Bitcoin. If you start following me, you realize I don't overthink things. Try to keep it really simple. And again, trading isn't one of those games where you're just speculating hard in your head. You either know or you know. Ooh, hold on one second. I'm gonna add the UTHR because we've been talking about this one in some of the other videos. All right, let's jump into it. Bonds. I mean, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record. This chart is really complicated, like messy and sloppy, but this is the bottom line when it comes to the TLT and interest rates. As long as interest rates are holding around where they've been for the last, 6 months, the market just doesn't seem to give a shit. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. We've hit some upper resistance zones. We're making higher lows. Again, the TLT is the inverse of the bond market. So if the TLT is going higher, that means bond rates are going lower. Things are getting cheaper. There's a whole lot of things going on. But just keep in mind, the bottom line is as long as interest rates aren't fluctuating big, the market doesn't care. That's all you need to know. If interest rates are stable, the market likes it. The market will continue to like it, and everything's fine. Senior dollar, we talked about this being bearish. We said this was the resistance zone. Clearly it was. And now we're getting volume and breaking back into the channel. Keep it really simple. Again, if you're not trading the dollar, just be aware of it. I always tell people you need to be aware of everything that's going on. That's why you can't be always laser focused in on one stock, because one stock probably follows the market. And if you don't know what the market's going to do, then you don't necessarily know what your stock is going to do. And, a rising tide lifts all boats, dollar action, bond action, SPY, Qs, the ETF that your stock is in, heavy, that really matters. So at this point, the dollar looks like it's going to drop. And if the dollar's going to drop, then keep an eye on the market. Because, again, like the TLT, the dollar doesn't necessarily mean a ton unless it's moving big. Any big movements, then the market gets a little nervous. VIX, we've been so dialed in on this one. We said we'll fill the gap. It was going to, bulls better get up. No. Bears got crushed. Now we're back at some this trend line is not clearly efficient anymore. We're back below the 50, 100, 200-day confluence. At this point, it's really simple to say that the VIX bears are in control. So the market seems to be rising. If you've watched any of the previous videos, please, Santa Claus rally, FOMC meeting, we talked about all the catalysts that would lead up into the end of the year market rallying, and it's come to fruition. And next week is seasonally bullish as well. That's just part of the market seasonality. I mean, it's not that the market is completely random. Money flows, things happen. Just keep it real simple. The only really bearish day next week is the last day of the week because it can be a lock-in for the year. People might sell to lock in current year's taxable rates, tax rates, whatever. SPY, 100-day double bottom. I know that is just an ugly W. I was watching the Wu-Tang special on Netflix, and so it's got me inspired for some W action. Man, that's not good either. But you can see we held. Real simple. I think we're going to go back test to the old highs. I know the volumes are light, and people are like, oh, but the volume's not light, confirming the action. It's like, well, think about the action during the week of the holidays. Are there a lot of participants around? No. So the market's naturally going to float wherever it's going to go in light volume. Get back over this range here. I don't know why we wouldn't maybe test the old channel highs, trend line highs. You got yourself locked in. You know where you're going. Qs, same kind of thing. It's a double bottom. Here at the 100-day, I don't see why. That is just an ugly line. You got this 400 level. I would just keep it that simple. I think we're going to get there at some point, and then if it's possible, maybe we get back to 415. Market seasonally bullish. Now, here's something to keep an eye on if you're watching any of the dollar. Might be gold's time to rip. Nice bottom if you watched previous videos. And again, I hate to say if you watch previous videos, but that's what we're doing. We're constantly updating what's going on, monitoring our trades, giving you, the viewer, something to kind of, double check your own wisdom and your thoughts on things. So the back test of this trend, we thought we might chop here, and that's what's happened. We've chopped, and now we're getting ready to reload, and looks like go higher. Keep it that simple. I like gold a lot. I think going into if you don't know the seasonality of gold, please watch my previous videos. I can talk about it some more, but typically the first quarter of the year is really seasonally bullish metals and miners. So if you don't know that, that's all you need to know. That's why I'm screaming at the top of my lungs like, hey, people, check this stuff out. Silver, great. Nice double bottom. Getting over the 20-day. Looks great. There's not really much to say. If you watch the previous videos, you know what's going on. You feel very comfortable. You're in a swing trade. You let it run. GDXJ or GDX, double bottom. Now we tested the 20-day, backed off. Tested this level. Now we're back over the 20-day. Looks fine to me. GDXJ, very similarly, made a higher low. And look at the volume here. If you're paying attention to volume doesn't always necessarily mean anything, because there'd be a lot of days where you can't really get a lot of information. I tell people that, it's one of those things when the indicators yell at you, then you pay attention. That was big volume, long wick. After a big down move, you're gonna pop. Now we're back over the 20-day, which is key. Gotta hold it. If it does, we're going much higher. I have no doubt in my mind. AG, here we go. Bear trap. Bears selling down here. People, you get below this level and it does not last. Professional gap. Keep in mind, professional gap is usually the start of a move. A novice gap is one near the end of a move. There's a whole video on that as well. We are back over the 20-day. When I say video, check my channel out. There's a video on pro versus novice gaps. What are they? What they mean? That's a professional gap off the low. Usually leads to higher prices. You can see professional gaps here before it started to run up. Here's a nice little professional gap before a run up. There then was another professional gap before the down. That's typical. Learn the past, know the future. It's really that simple. KL. This one was a little disappointing Friday. I don't know if there was any news, but I know Eric was watching and he said 200-day alert. in the Discord room. He was buying it, and it popped back. Looks okay. I mean, again, you can't go up every day. I tell people this. Like, if you study the markets, this is an uptrend. It's sloppy, and it's choppy, and it pisses you off. But, hey, you get from point A to point B. That's just how it goes. Straight line moves. You pray every move is straight line, but it's not. That's just the market reality if you play the game long enough. Here's another one. Professional gap. PAAS. Look at this. Blowout, and then big volume off the bottom. That is big money buying. That's all you really need to know. I mean, professional gap. Bear trap, because guess what? You made a lower low. You see it there. Lower low. Now you're rallying. You're back over the 20-day. And look, every day it's pumping. Higher highs, higher lows. I mean, this is the signal to get in. Get in. Get in. You could start even down here if you have big cojones. And usually I will tell you, like, I know when bear traps are forming. I mean, you're going to get into some charts and you'll see them. And when you do, you just run them. Letter X, this is one we've been talking about. We put out an alert. We said buy it down here in the 22s. Get over the 20-day. It's breaking. I want to see the volume, but you can tell what's going to be the first resistance. This 24 zone. Just keep an eye on it. I want to see, I'd like to see, I'm trying to think of, it'd be nice if we could get some sort of action like this, but the candles are small, the volume's not great, but hey, you're acting well, you're getting back up. That's all you need to know. VALE, this is Scott's little baby. He's been talking about this, and as the market was acting crappy the last couple of weeks, this thing held up off the lows. I mean, this is a nice W pattern. I like it a lot. If you have any doubt about my feelings about what's to come in the next couple of years, you are investing in commodities, because this is very reminiscent of the 2000 to 2003 era where the tech kind of softened and then commodities, housing, banks led. I think we're in that next era. It's starting again. You won't know it until you look past, but the commodity sectors have bottomed. They have been outperforming tech, especially the lesser tech. Some of the bigger tech's been holding up, but tech as a whole has definitely been underperforming commodities, and nobody's paying attention to it except for your guy here. I am paying attention. Did a video on the tech war. It's on the channel. Again, another resource for you. Watch it when you're comfortable, have time. AMD, here's an example of tech that we said I'd run and is going to top up in this trend line. It did. Backed off, held the 50-day naturally. Again, I always tell people the first drop is probably not the ideal short. You want to see a lower high or some sort of, bounce and chop then to short. So you just got to keep it that simple. So I hope that makes sense. Just the easy money's been made if you were bullish. Now it's probably gonna chop around. If you see a retest of 160s and it fails and you were a bull, you need to get the F out and just be happy that you got a lot of money in your trade, because I see this all the time in stocks. We'll get into some ones that are going to look like that. Apple, we put out an alert. It said the 20-day in red. I think the upside is on the monthly uptrend. You can see it's up in the 190s. I think that's where Apple's going to go. We put out that alert. Apple will probably lead the Qs to higher highs somewhere in the Santa Claus rally. Maybe the January effect will come into play in the beginning of January. There you go. MicroStrategy. Now this one has been, again, personality. The stock does not make things easy. Chop, 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 chop. Now it's getting back. If Bitcoin rises, this thing has hundreds of points in it. That's all you really need to know. Just know that, hey, it could have the mojo. RIVN. This is one I put another alert out. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get these alerts. I said watch the 93.95 level below the IPO lows. We're holding. You can buy this with a stop. I mean, your risk reward is well worth it if you're right, and if you're wrong, you lose a few points. I mean, if you have to be willing to lose to win. Now, I know that seems very obvious, but people they want certainty, and it's like by the time something's certain, it's usually too late. Roblox, this is another one that we just said just leave it alone. It's the easy money was made. You saw the 2 times range, holding the 50-day. I mean, it's a good company. I mean, if you dips back into this blue zone, holler at your boy. I'm going to put on an alert to say buy, buy, buy with a tight stop. Tesla, this is one where I said very simply, watch the previous videos from, I think it was Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, said this confluence here was a buy. Well, look at that, almost 200 points. That's great if you're a bull. Again, I didn't trade it. I think we'll probably get back to here, but I do warn bulls long term. Everybody is still bullish, and that's just crazy to me, because anyone who understands stocks knows that stocks go up and then they need to like reset. They go sideways, they pull back. Elon Musk is unloading his shares. That's got to be a worry if you're a bull. I mean, it's not. It's just, that's the reality. If the CEO is selling, the guy who's been trading his own stock, he's probably going to do a secondary. He's probably going to try to raise cash, and then at some point it pulls back. Then you can jump all over it. Just please be careful with Tesla. I mean, it's a trading stock. It's not a long-term own now. People will go, oh my God, I can't believe you said Tesla's not a long-term own. I'm just like, yeah. Let me show you the chart. Hold on. Let's go back. This stock has gone from pre-split or post-split 34 up to 1200. The easy money has been made. This is normal. This is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Game over. Now again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Ultimately, you have to pull the trigger, but raise your stops. Please do not blindly think this is going to the moon forever. It's going to have periods of retracement and pullback. Study all the old leaders. There's nothing new in the market. It's all repeating patterns. Leaders lead, and then they pull back, and then they lead later. PENN, we've been talking about this. I said, point it again. Here's the candle. Said this action. Now we're back over the 20-day. There's an alert over the 20-day. Here's a VPA 101 example. The market makers have to absorb all these shares, right? Think about it. When there's panic selling, who buys? Well, it's the market makers. They have to absorb the shocks. Keep in mind the stock was in the 140s as of March. It is now, and they're absorbing in the 60s. The market maker has absorbed all this volume. What does he need to do to get back to neutral? He needs to pump the stock at some point to sell, to pump to chasers. So if you've been buying down here, golf clap. Nice work. Because now you are in the money. Over the 20-day is the key. Let it run. There could be a tight squeeze here. And by tight, I mean like big squeeze. EXPI, the company I work for, great virtual real estate brokerage. I don't have anything negative to say about them. Usually I could be brutally honest and beat up on companies because I know companies. So far, so good. Been here 6 months. Love it. Love real estate. Y'all know that. There's another separate channel on Discord and on this channel itself all about real estate. We're over the 20-day. Keep in mind, there's a seasonal run for real estate every year in the first and second quarter because guess what? That's when real estate business picks up. Keep it that simple. Let's jump into the stock that my man Mikey French pointed me out. He said UTHR. Well, look what's it. All right, big move. And here again, this can relate to Tesla. I mean, you call whatever. Change the name of the stock. Big up move. Chop, chop, chop. Bear trap. Now we're back at the channel high. If this thing breaks out, it's going. It's got plenty of space. I could see 300, 325. That seems very likely if it goes. I hope that, I hope you can hold it and have the patience to let things run because this is a big consolidation pattern. This is just chop. If you just had, understood what was going on, this is all consolidation. And at every point during it, it had every reason to break down. What did it do? It made, it made higher lows, higher low, every single time. Somebody was willing to step in and stop the market action from dropping. Think of the psychology there. Who has the capacity to stop the market? It's not me. It's not you listening to this, and I guarantee it's not your cousin Vinny. It's the market makers, like big money in general. That's who can stop the market from dropping. They have the capacity to stop a stock from dropping. Somebody has the capacity with big hands, deep pockets. That's what you're watching for. So keep an eye out, break over this level, and it should rocket. Now here's the first thing I will warn people. You could get into this choppy action up here, but high and tight is good. High and tight is always good if you're running higher because sometimes you need to shake out some loose, weak hands before you initiate the slingshot. XOP. We've talked about this. Swing Jam said 200-day. He pointed that out. Good call. Now we're, break the trend, downtrend, and you've got motor. You got the motor to go. ExxonMobil, we'll end it here. Hit the downtrend, back at the top of the down channel. If it breaks, it should go. First resistance probably going to be the 50-day in this little 63 area. That's that. I mean, at this point, I hope people are picking up stuff. I mean, this channel is going to blow up because there is real value here. There's a lot to learn. If you don't know the market and stocks and what's going on, ask questions. The Discord room is there to help people. I'm always here to help if I'm around. I love to try to help people in general because it's good for me. Every time I'm studying more, the more I'm paying attention, the more I'm growing. So I hope this stuff helps. Happy holidays. Be safe. Be prepared for next week. Check out some of the weekly charts. Do not be surprised if next week we rally and then Friday might be a pullback. Because I think, yeah, Friday is the last day of the month. So what does it say? The last trading day of the year, NASDAQ has been down 15 of the last 20. Before that, NASDAQ was up 29 years in a row from 1971 to 1999. If you're wondering what I'm reading the Stock Trader's Almanac. If you don't have it and you are a trader, that's like being a farmer and not trying to predict the weather and know the tendencies. You don't know what every day brings, but you know what happens what time of the year. All right, folks, that's a wrap. I will check you all later. Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.